We all naturally have fears. It's our brain's way of protecting us. But sometimes those fears can unnecessarily hold us back. And it's not about burying those fears and just ignoring them. We really do have to analyze what we fear. And sometimes this is hard to do because we might not know it ourselves. We might just act a certain way towards certain circumstances. And that leaves us growing that fear even more. So it's important for us to, acknowledge the way that we're moving and presenting ourselves and showing up for ourselves. It's important that we look at these things so that we know what those fears might be. And like I said, this is hard, but there can be some easy ways to tap into what you might be fearing. And I think the majority of us would know what we might fear. It might be hard to admit though. um but a lot of the time fears come up when it comes to you having to do something, and for some reason you're not doing it. And some people will call this a lack of discipline, but I think there's a different side to it, because it's almost like you can have the will to do, but then if there's a fear involved around that, it shows that you will automatically feel that, you will automatically know that it is fear. Um, and when we start to, I really do believe that when we start to tap into ourselves and go deeper within and look at how we feel constantly and allow ourselves to actually acknowledge the way we feel constantly, it's almost like we're tapping into more of our own self-confidence, our own self-awareness. Because when we do learn how to, like I said, acknowledge the fear that we might be feeling, then you're able to be more self-confident because you're starting to learn yourself more. And yeah, it's crazy because I it was a f- like n- it wasn't even that long ago, probably like a couple years ago, where I really dived into the concept of fear more and more and more. And I did it because I realized that fear is the thing that would hold me back from anything that I would want to do. If there is anything that's going to hold me back, I don't want to let other people do it. But the only thing that could hold me back really and truly is myself, and that'll be the fears that I have towards certain things. And I really wanted to like deep fear on a whole level, and it's crazy because we have, as humans, we have so many fears, like naturally, like we have like a fear of death, a fear of like pain, and like there's so many different fears that are naturally, it's okay to have, because we have, like we said, we have our survival instincts and our brain's way of protecting us. But I feel like when you let go of the worst case scenario, when you let go and detach from that being a possibility, it's almost like we start to see the light in that dark place, if that makes sense. And that's something that I've really taught myself to do, start to see the light in things rather than the dark, and constantly like showing myself it's okay to see it like that. Even if my brain might go to survival mode, like we said, might go to that protection mode, it's almost like if you actually allow yourself to see it from a different light, have a different perspective, take some time to sit on the feelings and thoughts that come with that fear instinct that we were just talking about, um, we can really start to shift our perception towards the things that we may fear. And I'm very grateful for this, that we can actually do this as humans. We can actually change the way we think. Sometimes it's hard because naturally we have certain thoughts and we have certain mindsets. But I think on a whole level, we can control so much more than we think. And fear is the root of most of our actions. If there's any fear within us when we're taking certain actions and certain moves, those will be blocked. So we really do have to face them head on. Don't ignore them. It's easy to ignore what we might be scared of, um, truthfully, but we really do have to face them before anything. Otherwise, we're going to be stagnant, and the fear is only going to build more and more and more and more and more. So, yeah, I've just been in a place of thinking about fear and telling myself that if there is any fears that I might be going through, to think about them, actually identify the fears. And that's step one. I feel like that's step one, just identifying them and seeing what they might be. Am I scared of anything? Okay. And then if no, then that's beautiful. But it's like nothing's come to me recently. I think naturally as humans, like I said, we have natural survival instincts, but on a level of being real with ourselves, knowing ourselves deeper, and tapping more deeply into our divine essence, we do have to ask ourselves these questions sometimes, especially when we start to act up in our ways, start to act differently, start to act out of character. That's when we start to have to ask ourselves these type of questions. So yeah, guys, I'm so grateful that you guys have stuck with me through this video. I am very grateful that I've been able to share this on the channel. It's a blessing every time. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.